In the next 15 years, flooding along the coastal U.S. is projected to happen up to 3 times as often as it does now. But the problem is already costing coastal communities a lot of money. Here in Maine, 2 damaging back-to-back storms in January caused millions of dollars of damage to our coast, pushing Governor Janet Mills to request a national disaster declaration. NBC's Chase Kane shows us how the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration is working to improve coastal flooding predictions to help communities prepare for the future.
A lot of people had to move out across the street right there because their houses were damaged.
Americans on every coast are living the reality of sea level rise. In Charleston, the ocean can spill onto streets 10, 15 days a year. And in just 15 years, NOAA projects that will triple 45 days every year.
We don't know how you survive that. So we have to prepare for and plan for our infrastructure to be able to manage that. And it's expensive, it takes long planning and long vision, and it's also disruptive. But if we don't do it, are we giving up on Charleston?
Charleston has a $1 billion project underway to raise seawalls and reroute floodwater. And short-term, many cities like Charleston rely on sandbags and mobile pumps when they expect flooding. But what about when it's unexpected?
It's hard to predict flood days, right?
Greg Dusick is one of the scientists at NOAA working to better predict high tide flooding. Because right now, on average, those flood days are only correctly predicted 35% of the time. Weather is one factor, and another is that big stretches of the U.S. coast, sometimes hundreds of miles, don't have a tide gauge.
We're going from covering multiple states in an entire region, down to talking about specific communities, and then eventually down to, every quarter mile along shore having a specific flood prediction for that location.
Known as CORA, NOAA's Coastal Ocean Reanalysis will fill in the gaps with hyper-local data, better predicting all the ways sea level rise impacts our coasts.
Here in California, storms, high tides, and rising seas can wash the land out from underneath roads, train tracks, and people's homes.
Which happened up and down California's coast during this winter's storms, given a boost by sea levels creeping higher and increasing the importance of NOAA's work.
So we'll be able to provide more information to underserved communities that don't have a tide station. And they also don't have the resources necessarily to do all of this research themselves. So they really rely on NOAA as an authoritative data source.
They've already begun testing CORA's flood forecasts on the Atlantic and Gulf coasts, and if all goes well, they hope they can roll that out nationally in the next 3 or 4 years. And that will be good timing because every year that goes by, sea level rise is accelerating. In Santa Cruz, California, I'm National Climate Reporter Chase Kane.